Hello there, you found my YouTube channel, Chrissy Love. I am Chrissy. It's great to see you here. This is where I talk about fragrance. Your likes, your comments, and subscribing to my channel, it all means a lot to me, so thank you so much. Today is a very special video. I am talking about IMIXX perfumes, which is a newish dupe house. They reached out to me and said, hey, can we send you a bottle to get your honest opinion about it? No money involved, just the bottle. I said, absolutely. And I did a special request. I asked for a perfume that actually isn't super popular. It is from the house of Maison Martin Margiela from the replica line, and it's called Sailing Day, which is kind of more like a cologne, but I just really fell in love with it. And I was like, ooh, I've never heard anyone doing a dupe of it before. That's really exciting. So I asked for that, and as a bonus, they also sent me a dupe of Baccarat Rouge 540, of course, by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So I will put a picture of the boxing when it first comes in, but this is basically what it looks like. This packaging here, it's like a foam cube, and usually it has these white stripes around it, the cord that keeps it in place, but when I take it off so that I could smell the perfume. When you open it up, you have a sample here to test, so you can return. They told me to tell you, you can return it to the warehouse if you don't like the scent, and you just open this up and there's your bottle. And the bottles themselves are incredible. I mean, such quality for such a low price. Their perfumes range between $29 and $49. And of course, I'll put a link, by the way, in the description box below so you can check out their website and see what they have going on. But this is what the bottle looks like. It has this leather, or, you know, maybe it's fake leather, but it looks like leather on top. And that says natural spray, IMIXX. And then here on the label, it's kind of minimal, and it kind of reminds me actually of the replica line bottles because it's like a little canvas sheet on top of the glass, and they have little charms. But each bottle has a different charm that relates to the perfume. So it's just really next level details that I really appreciate. And this is the Baccarat Rouge dupe I'm holding right here, by the way. So apparently, in terms of the packaging, they say it's from a recycled wood pulp fiber sponge. So it's environmentally friendly. And it was really interesting. I went on their website to look at their method of duping because I assume people dupe perfumes by just smelling them and trying to pick out the notes. So I'm going to look at my notes because these terms are a little bit new for me. But apparently they use an Agilent gas molecular spectrometer to identify the compounds in the original perfume so it can be copied faithfully. So this device uses three-phase gas chromatography, meaning it separates out the components of the perfume by turning it into a vapor and then sending that vapor through a medium through which the components move at different rates and thus can be identified individually. So apparently, according to their website, they spent several years building a database of 500,000 luxury perfume ingredients, and they use the highest quality ingredients in their perfumes. And I will say, I can say that's true. They're really high quality, really impressive. So they said that if they wished, this is kind of a cute little thing they said on their website, they could identify the composition of ancient Egyptian perfumes in 300 BC, which are probably just like patchouli. Like, I don't know how many ingredients there are in Egyptian perfumes. I feel like we gotta go crazy with the chemicals now. There's probably a lot more stuff in our perfumes now. But in any case, let's jump right into my review of the actual perfumes. So I'm going to start off with my review of their dupe of Sailing Day. And here's the charm. It looks like it's like a button with some rope through it. So I think it's supposed to be kind of a sailing reference. Anyway, so just long story short, this is a very, very faithful dupe. It's fantastic. If you like Sailing Day, you will love this. So at first spray, and I've already sprayed it, of course, and wear tested it and everything. So I'm not gonna spray it again now because it will just like fill my house. But on first spray, it's this ozonic salty air and juniper scent. So it's very fresh and ethereal. And then in the dry down, it's still very ozonic. It still has a really salty ocean air scent, but you know, it doesn't even smell like a perfume. Not even like an air freshener either. It smells like real natural air. So this is one of the replica perfumes that I really enjoy because it does really remind me of an experience that I enjoy personally, like being out on the ocean. And I think it's just so fresh and unisex. And performance-wise, so this does not project that well, which is kind of similar how the original performs as well. But it really does stick around. So this is one that you're gonna smell within like a close bubble, but not project too far outside of you. But really, I think that's okay. I think it's also a really good one for layering since it doesn't have a perfume quality to it. So if you wanna add some freshness or some saltiness to your perfume, this could be great for layering. So does this smell like the original? Yes, it smells exactly like the original, both in the opening and the dry down. I'm really happy with it. And now I don't have to spend like $150 on sailing day. I have my little travel spray pen I've been kind of nursing, so I'm really glad I have this now, so I don't have to get the full-size bottle of that. It's definitely a much better deal. Now let's move on to Baccarat Rouge, which I think everyone and their mother has duped at this point. So it's not super original, but there's always a need, obviously, because it's so expensive. And, you know, people want to be able to smell like it because it is, or when it was first made, with a very unique and wonderful scent. So I really appreciate them sending me this because the marker of a good dupe house is pretty much how well they can dupe Baccarat Rouge. All right, so here's the bottle of the dupe of Baccarat Rouge, so very similar to the Sailing Day bottle, but it's a slightly different charm with some writing on it. Now, the IMIXX version is a little bit different from the original, but I actually prefer it, so I'm really glad I have this and don't spend money on the original. So I'm just kind of describe both of them because they're similar in some ways, so I'll describe how they're similar first. So to me, Baccarat Rouge is like a fluffy jasmine cotton candy, so it's very sweet and it has a little bit of a pepperiness to it. Now, where they diverge in the opening is that the Baccarat Rouge has kind of a suede vibe to me, a little bit masculine. It's actually something I don't really enjoy. Like, it kind of wears on me. I kind of like don't really dig it, and I can't really tell why. So I'm really glad this is actually not featuring that. It doesn't have that like slightly masculine undertone suede vibe that the original has. So that to me is a plus. It's just like that fluffy cotton candy, kind of floral. There's still complexity there. It definitely still smells like Baccarat Rouge, but it doesn't have that suede note that I really don't enjoy. Now in the dry down, it's pretty much the same kind of scent. And they also, in the dry down, they are very similar. So the dry down of Baccarat Rouge is pretty much the same as the dry down in the IMIXX version. Now I will say, since I had them side by side, I could really compare them very closely. I would say the IMIXX, though the quality is very high, it lacks a little bit of the complexity in the dry down of the original. There's just like a little bit of like a je ne sais quoi about the original that I really keep my finger on, but it's just missing like 2% of what the original has, basically. But yeah, so I think that someone smelling you on the street would definitely still think you're wearing Baccarat Rouge. Like, it's so close. It's only because I had them on one hand and one on the other that I could really smell the difference, like very closely. But it's an incredibly close dupe, like a 98% dupe. It's amazing. Now, also what's really good about the IMIXX version is it has much better performance on my skin. So this one lasted all day, projected. I could not get it off of me all day. Like, I wasn't trying to, but like it was just surrounding me. Every move I made, I smelled it. Where with the Baccarat Rouge original, in a few hours, it was pretty much gone from my skin, which is crazy for how expensive it is. So if it performs on you, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. But you know, on me, Baccarat Rouge does not perform, but this one does. So I definitely like this one better. I like that it doesn't have that suede masculine vibe, and I like that it performs a lot better than the original. So as far as dupes go, this is beating out the original hands down for me. Also, I want to say the atomizer on these is so smooth. It's like this soft, puffy cloud. Let me see if I can spray it so you can see it. All right, my house is gonna reek now, but it's a really even distribution, very gorgeous sprayer. So I really love the quality on the bottles too. Also, I like how the titles are the actual names of the perfume they're duping. They're not like trying to like do spin-off names or some kind of quirky, which is fine because there's plenty of houses that do that. But it just says number 19 Baccarat Rouge. It's not pulling any punches. Like, yep, we're duping you. That's what it is. Get used to it. There is no pretense whatsoever. So I really enjoy that too. They're so straightforward, and the prices are really awesome for the quality. They really do use the best ingredients. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, so that's my review of 2 dupes from the IMIXX house. Let me know if you had a chance to try them or if you have an interest in trying them. I'll definitely put a link to their website below. But they have a ton of great perfumes. I counted that they have 32 on their website as of this filming right now. So stuff like Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, let's see, they have Jo Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt, Byredo, Gypsy Water, you know, all the normal stuff. They Tom Ford Lost Cherry. There's a bunch that like are pretty often duped. But then there was another one that I thought was interesting. It was from Wilhelm Parfumery, and that's called Body Paint. And I hadn't even heard of that one, and I love that house. But that house is so rarely duped. So they're kind of like digging deep as well for things that you wouldn't necessarily think of. So definitely check out their website. The bottles are gorgeous. It's going to be beautiful amongst my collection. So thank you again so much to IMIXX for sending me these bottles to review. Again, they didn't pay me or anything. It was just sending me the bottles for my honest feedback. And I am really impressed and honestly thinking about buying a couple more bottles from them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope you have a very beautiful day.